Hello and welcome back. If you're new to my channel, I'm Deirdre and today I'm doing Plan With Me for December, the last month of 2018. And if anybody out there can believe it, let me know because I certainly can't. In December, I'll be doing some more planning with you, pre-planning for 2019, but for the moment, let's just do a quick run through of this. Now remember, I am not one of those astonishingly creative planners. I am a very plain planner. I have no creative ability well, very little, and I love the fact that other people do, but it's not for me. This is just to keep all of the information in my head dumped out onto a page. And there are things I like to plan and track, and obviously my YouTube content and things like that. Everything is handled in this. It's not for my finances. I do use it for, as you'll see, for expenses tracker. But that's not really what it's for. That's just because it's, I have the space in these and I can do it easily. Those things and my year-long view, they're held in another journal which is separate from this. Okay, here we go. So as you know, I use the Moleskine A5. It's a really nice size. It's held up well because this is 2/4 in one bullet journal, so you see it's quite thick. Let's get into it. So we'll go through here. This is where I'm going to start December. Well, I know I've just finished saying that I'm not into the whole creative, beautiful looking one, and to be fair, it's not. But because I had so much space, let me see, I've got this much space just for December, because I will of course start a new one in the new year. I'm not one of those people who can sort of do half a year. It's got to have some beginnings and the endings. So this is the 2/4. So this is July, August, September, October, November, December, and that's how I like to see it. So at the moment I did put a front page on it. I don't think I've ever done this before. So here we go, it's December and it's got some Christmas decorations and I even have a little quote from Scrooge saying, "I will honour Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year." So this is my normal calendar. I've got a couple of things in here already. Some of it's a bit private, so I have covered it. I do my calendar as a vertical calendar because it works for me. It gives me space to write what I'm doing each day. I have thought about switching up to the boxes for next year. I'm not certain. This works for me and I feel quite comfortable with it. I just go through and go 1 to 31, obviously in this case, and just put an initial for the date, and that works perfectly well. I just jot down anything in that, put a line through if I'm not doing it, or cross it off when I have, and I know where I am. And the December notes is simply just to leave space for reminders, like for example when I do my blood test coming up, I've got to do a fasting one, so I'll put a note here for that. Just those sorts of notes that relate to anything that's on here, I will put a note about it. Then carrying over onto this side, this is very much the same as I've done before. I like to do a visual habit tracker, and these are the things that I like to track at the moment. Will they stay the same? No idea is the answer, but at the moment it's working for me. So these I just simply colour in as I go through them, and I'll show you one that I've been doing. So you can see here that some are coloured, some are not, and I simply colour it in if I've done it, put a line under it if I haven't. I'm perfectly happy to keep going with the same system. In this one, I have made it slightly smaller just because that is the size I photocopied my little template at. It doesn't matter. And then down here, I do 1 to 31, and that's my weight tracker. It's going down a bit, which is an important thing. I'm not making a big deal about it. I'm just tracking. So here I have water, social, because I work for myself and mostly work from home. That is a good thing to track. No spend. Well, these aren't to say that the whole month is a no spend. These are just to note the days when I spend nothing. Not yesterday. I bought a ladder yesterday. Clean eating. I'd like to see a whole month of that. Is it going to happen? No, because we have this thing called December the 25th and 26th in here, and New Year. Have I watered and cared for my plants? Yes, or checked them? Yes. My green drink, which is just my green smoothie I have with lots of different things in it, depending on what I bought this month. Up by 6 AM. I'd like to move that to 5. I really would, just to give me that clean run of the day, especially in these summer days when, well, summer's nearly here. Wouldn't guess it looking outside today. It's very gloomy. I've got lights on to do this, but up by 6 AM is fine. I can do that easily. Up by 5, less so, but I'd like to push myself out of my comfort zone for that, because it really does feel good to get onto the day and bed by 11. Now obviously if I move that back to 5, then this may have to go back to 10:30 or 10, I think 10 probably. YouTube, have I made one? That's obvious. Instagram, I did try to do an Instagram a day this month, but I just got too busy in the end, and I did quite a few, but not one a day. I'd like to try for 30, or 31 rather. Yoga stretch, that means do I get up in the morning and stretch and just do some sun salutes, do just a little bit of a yoga routine before I get into my day, and that makes a huge difference. The thing that makes the biggest difference of all, of course, is going for a walk, but I'm still dealing with an ulcerated toe. Don't get an ulcer, guys, it's a monster. But I have been walking, which is good, and I feel so much better when I do. Turning over, and we get to my content tracker. This is for YouTube. I suppose I could put it in here, couldn't I? YouTube. Content tracker. What the video is going to be about. Planned. This is PFEMP, and then IG for Instagram if I've had an Instagram post. So P is for plan, filmed, edited, the metadata, which includes the description and tags on the original file, all of that sort of stuff, and then upload and publish. I just put a dot on those when I have completed them and cross off the days that I have uploaded. Over here I've just got the December content ideas, which is fine. That's just for me to note down ideas as I go, and then if I end up doing a video on them, I'll cross them off. I've got a couple of places to just put ideas, because I think it's a good concept to have space for jotting ideas to get them out of your brain. And this is specifically about YouTube. I've already added some things into this that first week, so I'll go straight to the second week of my daily log. Now you know that this is how I set up my logs. I like to do week at a glance and have the whole week set out here so I can jot things down. For some reason I started doing Saturday, Sunday at the top. Most people would have it here, and perhaps in another planet I would have it too, but now I'm used to it this way. So my Saturday and Sunday are there, and then I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, always in the same place. So if the month started on the Wednesday, this would be Wednesday the 1st, and this would be a page of notes. See, I put in my zone cleaning. I always add the sunrise, sunset, and my the temperature. For example, back here you can see sunrise, sunset, and temperature. And for the weekends I've added these little circles, and that's to give me my top 3 for the day. Now on the weekends it can be nice things like go to Pilates, do my Carmen's 10k walk, when whether I'll get through it or not, I don't know. My toe is really bad, but it's okay, it's getting better. And it's there we are. I'll be adding in nice things like have a nano nap, have brunch with the girls, and that will be my Sunday top 3 popped off. Over here it'll be Pilates, it'll be go and visit my granddaughter, spend some time with my son and his wife and the baby, those sorts of things. So it's Saturday, Sunday sort of things, nice things. But once I get into the week, then I have these little squares, and the squares mean work. And so what are my top 3 workday things? And once those 3 major key items have been done, then my day is all cream from then on. It means that I've had a great day. I'm not going to pressure myself to try and do more than this, to have a 3-page long to-do list. If I get 3 important things done, the needle movers, and I'll talk about those more when I come to my planning for 2019, but these are the things making the next week or the next day better and adding to a project. And if they're done, it's a good accomplishment for the day. If I get more done, that's even better. So that's the way I've set it up, then going through for all of these, and always with my zone cleaning in there as well. I've left work ones in for Christmas Day. No, that's not going to happen. Probably won't happen here either. I will clean the house. This is probably a week of research and just nice things. And the same here, we're going through into New Year's Day, and it's lovely. At the end of each month, or rather at the end of each week, but I've kept it here at the end of the month, I note down my accomplishments for that week. So week 1 I've noted in as I'll just do a couple of lines, week 2, week 3, week 4, that all fits in that, it's fine. And have I been healthy eating? What could I do better in the next week that would help to set it up so I keep going, or can, save myself from chocolate. Same for exercise and sleep. Think about the way I can modify my environment so that I sleep better and make sure I get up and go and have some exercise, these sorts of things. And productivity, well, it's to do with these little squares, for example. How am I going week 1, 2, 3, 4, right through the month. Then on the next page, I've got the whole month in focus and also looking out at the next month. So my top 3 things that I accomplished this month. What are my 3 goals for January, or whatever the month is going on? And what changes, yes, mucked that up, didn't I? What changes, I actually wrote chicken because I was listening to something at the same time and they said something about chickens. So I wrote chicken down there. What changes will I make in my environment? Not what chickens will I make in my environment. So for example, here I put to maintain block calendar, running my life like a school timetable. I'll talk more about that in my planning video. Put it on the calendar, when and where. These are really important, and have focus time. And I'm going to try for this 90 days times 90 minutes times 3 times a day. We'll see how that goes. Now, as you can see over here, I've got my note catcher. This is like a dream catcher, only it grabs other stuff. For example, something I want to do in 2019 is to look at fabulous skin at any and every age. Skincare, nutrition, these are things I'll make videos on, but I'm just jotting down ideas at the moment. My top 3 dailies and how that's going, I'll talk about that. And the 90 days of 90 minutes focus. See how that works. And 12 habits. That's something I'm going to do this year too. Once again, talk more about that in my planning for 2019. I'm not sure if I included this in my last month's one. I know I've got it in there, but I'm not sure if I added it in before or after I did my planning video. I can't remember. What I'm doing now is saying, right, 2 videos a week. One that's a major one, that's the triangle, and one that's a less major one, like a flag. So the pinks are the major ones, the yellows are the slightly shorter ones. So for here, brainstorm over here, how I'm going to plan my video out over here on this side. So this will be the 2019 plan with me, the pre-plan with me one, and then I'll do a planning, probably a live actually, in early January, probably the 3rd, I think at the moment, is looking like it will be available. Then once again, brainstorm, say this is 2018 favourites. Yes, I put 2019 and had to correct it. What books, music, films, experiences, obviously Isabel, my granddaughter, trip to London, what skills did I develop, anything else I can think of. And then these are just the brainstorms, things I want to talk about. And then over here, my video plan for that. And that's right, so I've got 2 pages of that. So week 1, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Yes, a bit mucky, not to worry. You know, get it done, don't make it perfect. How about that? Is that reasonable? Then here I have my just tracking expenses. This is not my financial journal. This is not what I run my life out of, but this is just a good way to keep an eye on it. So I have sort of 4 separate income streams, and the amounts that come in for those. I have, because I work for myself, they are variable and just depends on what's going on this month. Then I've given myself a lot of space for expenses because last month I ran out of space. It was the first month I was just doing that in my bullet journal and I ran out of space. So I've given myself all of this, then I'll total it, do a carryover, bring it up to here, and however much of this I need. Hopefully not too much. I'm not going to be noting individual items, but I will be noting, noting things like groceries or supermarket, because I do groceries and household in the same. So groceries, household, supermarket things, petrol, these sorts of things. Anything I spend money on, I've got to do a car service, car wash, all of those sorts of things. Just as I spend the money, I keep a note of what's going out and when. And then at the bottom, my total income less total expenses gives me a total for the month, and hopefully it's a positive number. Then I have this one, and this is new, and it's really me playing around with ideas. That's because there are things that I want to get done that are not just related to specific clients. A good running task for the week for what I'm spending my time on. So I've set these up with the 4 weeks, and my concept is that this will keep me honest. What's the project I'd be working on? For in this case, say website. And I'd give it a priority, which in this case would be a 1, it's important. And then the task that I want to work, that I'm working on for that day, would be to do a draft wireframe of the new way that I want my website to be. When it's due, well, it would be due at the end of December, because then I want to have it go live at the beginning of January. the estimated number of hours it will take, which in this case is quite a few, and at what percentage have I done, what stage am I at, the percentage stage that I'm completing at this point in week 1 on that project. And there can be other projects or variations of the website project. There may be 3 or 4 on website, like contact a web designer, and the task would be to talk about timing and costing of having some assistance in this, and that would be a priority, probably a priority 2, 1 or 2. And then if I've done 100% of that, I can cross that one off. That's good. I've got space for things during the week, so a couple of things every day. I've got enough time, enough space to write those down. And I've got 1 of these areas per the week, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there it is. That's it. Now, these pages, of course they'll get filled in as I go along, but I haven't allocated them for anything at the moment, and I will, as I go through the months, no doubt end up using this space. But these are a few things that I'm trialing this month, like this, using this. Perhaps December's not the good one to use it for, so I might trial it for a couple of months. They put it in the January one as well. Trialing, remembering to add up all my expenses. I trialled with that one last month. It was semi-successful. This is why I've sort of divided it up a little differently. And apart from that, I think everything is pretty much as I had it last month. And this is my book list, or for the last 2 quarters of this year. And I'll be talking about some of these when I look at 2018 favourites. But so far in the last 2 quarters, I have read 32 books in the second half of the year, which isn't too bad. It's well over 1 a week, and I'm happy with that. And of course, you know, I've given myself now a challenge, so I've got it done. I've got to read another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 to go if I want to fill up the page. If I don't fill up the page, the world will not end. It will be fine. I must write this one in. This one's rather fun. This is just a nice, easy little read. This is The Liar by Nora Roberts. Got a couple of other ones that are going to come out in December that I'm waiting for. I haven't finished that one yet. I started that one yesterday. I do read quite quickly, which is a bit of a problem because I romp through books, but they're called libraries, which are really good, and nothing like using a library. Very nice thing to learn. And that is the end of my plan with me for December. Don't expect a frontispiece page every time. Who knows, I might get addicted to it, but I can't ever see myself doing those astonishing creative things. It's just not my style, and it's not what it's about for me. For me, it's just about getting the info out of my head and onto the page. I hope that you could find something in this to take away that's been useful for you. I don't ever think people should do something just because I've done it, or do it my way. I think if you're going to do this, do it your way, whatever works for you. So if this has been interesting or useful for you, please subscribe, hit the notification bell to let you know when I've uploaded a video, and I will see you in Zone 5 to complete my Zone 5 cleaning for November. And I hope whatever you're doing today, you're having a wonderful time. I'll see you in the next one, and thanks for watching. Bye.